Live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, we appreciate you joining us. We are live streaming here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. This is something we do every weekday starting at 1 o'clock. We go throughout the afternoon. We cover a wide range of topics. I always like to let everybody know about that right up front in case it's your first time joining us. So thanks for being here. For this segment, we're actually going to be playing my interview with Dan Beecham, who is an underwater cinematographer. Pretty amazing title right there. We're going to be talking about the new show that he has worked on, Sharks Up Close with Bertie Gregory, but also just his career of doing that, going out into the wild, into the ocean, diving down there and filming wild animals in the ocean. I mean, it's just kind of a crazy idea that that's an actual job somebody has, but they bring all that footage back to us, and obviously that's how we get to see those worlds. So pretty entertaining to find out a little bit more about behind the scenes of how all that happens. So let's go for it right now.
Sure. I mean, I guess for those of us in the industry, we spend a lot of other people that do this job, so we kind of take for granted. We kind of think it's pretty normal, but I know it is a weird job. So from my side, I mean, I specifically work in underwater filming, and really to be able to film underwater, you need to be a really confident and competent diver before you can get hold of a camera and start doing that. So that was my approach. I was a diver first of all, and then I guess you get to the point where you want to start sharing the things you're seeing, and that naturally leads you into photography and filmmaking. And there are people that come from the other route. You know, they might go to film school. They get really into cameras and then they decide to take that underwater. But yeah, the journey I took was diver and then a camera person from there.
It would seem like you would have to have a draw or be comfortable, yeah, going into the water like that. And I mean, for you, what is it that drew you into that, you know, or that draws you into that still, into going underwater like that and being, you know, immersed in that world?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's where we all feel the most comfortable. Those of us that do this job, we probably feel yeah, maybe more comfortable there than we do on land in ways. Yeah, you just have to spend a lot of time diving and a lot of time in the water to get really comfortable. You're diving, you know, worrying about the equipment and the safety measures that you have in
Sure.
place all have to become second nature before you start reaching for a camera and start allowing yourself to be focusing on the camera and thinking about the story you're trying to tell with the camera and all those kind of things, because you have to be thinking about the diving in the background as well, thinking about the environment, you know, making sure you're not getting lost, thinking about the animals you're diving with, all of those things.
Well, talking about the animals, you know, and the stories that are being told too, you know, when you're going in there, and let's, you know, talk specifically about, you know, this show, you know, how do you know what the story is that you want to tell? Or is it you're getting down there, you're immersed in it, and then you see something and you're like, okay, there's a story. I'm gonna follow what's happening here. I mean, obviously you know generally where you're gonna shoot, but that storytelling side of it is so huge. You know, it's not just
Yeah,
I'm just filming an
yeah,
animal swimming around. You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
bringing people in.
It certainly can be tricky. And often in wildlife filming and in underwater filming, you don't get a second shot at things. So that one time you're in the water when everything's happening, you know, the conditions are right, the light is good, the water's clear, and the animals are behaving, you might not get that again. So yeah, you need to be covering the whole story, getting the cutaways, getting the close-ups, the wides, the mids. So that becomes second nature as well, I guess, in ways. You know, you build the story as you're going along. Often would be working with a director on a shoot like this, but they're generally not in the water with us talking in our ear either. One thing that's great about working with Bertie is he's obviously a very, very competent filmmaker. So we work quite well together. You know, we've done lots of shoots together. And his mind works much quicker than mine. So often he'll be saying to me, grab a close up of that, let's grab a shot of this. So he's very quickly putting the story together in his head as well. So that's very useful working with someone as experienced as
Yeah.
Bertie in that way.
Yeah, I mean that's exciting. Yeah, because it's not like you can say like, you know, hey, shark, we need a second shot of this. You know, come back through exactly on
Yeah,
this lighting.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and of
Well,
course it does happen when you get home in the evening and you go, oh, we really should have done that, shouldn't we? We should have grabbed that shot. We should have done. So absolutely, we do miss those things at times as well. But hopefully, you still come home with enough to put the story together still.
well, with this story here and with this show with Bertie, you know, tell us about this particular one and just what people can expect with this.
Sure. Well, you know what it's like. I don't want to give too
Yeah.
much away. I don't want to give too many teasers. People need to watch the show. I mean, maybe not everything happened that we wanted to happen. That might be a bit of a teaser. But we still had a great adventure. We had some amazing moments underwater together. And yeah, and we had a really good ride along the way. You know, it was a really spectacular adventure. And I think this film's great because it gives people a little bit of an insight into what wildlife filmmaking can be like. It's not all glamour and amazing diving and diving with cool creatures all the time and excitement. There's a lot of waiting around, a lot of getting frustrated, a lot of the crew maybe getting frustrated with each other, and then at times things just happen, and then the wheels have to start turning, and everything has to go to plan, and we've got to come away with the goods, you know. So yeah, this film's great because it shows both sides of things.
Yeah, actually seeing what that is, probably a lot of, yeah, wait, now,
Yeah,
go now,
yeah,
get this
yeah,
done. And
yeah,
in
yeah,
precarious
exactly.
situations too, I would imagine, that, yeah, I mean, you're used to it, obviously. So again, I'm looking from an outside perspective, but that seems like that could be a very dangerous job at times.
Um, it
Maybe I'm
it
wrong.
could be. Well, I guess I mean crossing the street can also be dangerous, you know. So I
It's
mean,
true.
for us, number one is safety. You know, we all want to come out of the job unscathed. We all want to go on another shoot in the future. So safety is our number one priority. And when you're working underwater with sharks, we kind of set a bunch of parameters in our heads before the shoot even starts. You know, we know we need decent sea conditions. You need good visibility. It can't be really strong waves, swelly, really turbulent conditions. So we have in our mind what the day needs to look like when we would be doing those dives. I guess then we just need to also allow ourselves to not get drawn in, as the days and weeks of the shoot go on and the pressure mounts because you still need to deliver the goods. You don't want to get to the last day and go, oh, let's just go anyway. Let's just risk it, um, number one, you need good clear water for getting good pictures of these animals anyway. So there's no point diving in terrible visibility where it's dangerous and you might get really not very appealing pictures of the sharks. So yeah, it's from the outside in, it may look dangerous, but yeah, certainly we all have safety is our number one priority, and we go through a number of layers of risk assessments. I've got a safety diver with me, watching me. I'm watching Bertie whilst I'm filming him as well. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend just anyone goes out and has a go at these things. We do think about these
Yeah.
things, although it may not look like it at times.
Yeah, but I mean, very well thought out and a lot of experience. Do you still get afraid or have you ever been afraid like in there with sharks?
Um, no, I think you have to get quite good at compartmentalizing when you're diving in that way, because you need to stay focused on the camera. You also need to stay aware of the situation and know when is the right time to pull out if you need to pull out, if more animals showed up, if the conditions suddenly turned on you. So yeah, you have to compartmentalize. There's that part of your mind that's thinking about the story, thinking about the camera, thinking about your diving equipment, and there's the other side that's yeah, like kind of your redundancy that's looking after yourself as well. So yeah, that's just a skill you develop in time as well, I guess.
Yeah, just thinking about all those different things
Yeah,
at the
spinning
same
spinning
time.
plates the whole time.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, it's amazing though. I mean, what you bring, for all of us who would never, the majority of us will never see that in person, what you get to see. And I know it's normal for you and your coworkers in that field, but I mean, for us, this is something, really special that we get to see. And that includes with this one too. I mean, I think for everybody out there, if you could, not spoiling anything, but encouraging everybody to watch, what would you want them, I guess, maybe to take away from this, or what would you say to encourage everybody to watch this one with Bertie?
Sure. I mean, yeah, you're right. We are super lucky to get to go and see these things, and we all do this job because we love those moments and being with the animals, and we don't take it for granted. But we also like doing it because it allows us to share those things. The
Yeah,
doing these shoots stops being about us experiencing it for ourselves, but it's about capturing something great on camera that other people can experience in their own homes, which we know people in many parts of the world just aren't able to experience. I think this film it demonstrates really well just how nature can deliver when we're patient with it, when we're patient with her. You know, we put a lot of time in this film into trying to get something out of the natural world, and ultimately it delivered something else to us. You know, so yeah, I think this film it also highlights the complex relationship that people have with sharks in different parts of the world, and that's common across the world. You know, humans and sharks coming into conflict. So it looks quite closely at that topic and helps like dive into that world a little bit more. So hopefully people will learn about that topic in watching the film.
Yeah, learning more about, yeah, I mean, around the world, everybody's got some kind of a relationship with the sharks, but just how
Yeah,
important they are. And
everyone's got an opinion on sharks. Yeah, and I
yeah,
hope
that is
people will.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, sharks and
yeah,
snakes. I feel like everybody's got an opinion. Um,
yeah. Sure.
but yeah, I mean, it's really incredible, and seriously, yeah, thank you, for what you do too, because as you
Thank
mentioned,
you.
this is how we get to see this and get to see these stories and get to see just that whole world, that
Yeah,
underwater world that we don't
yeah,
normally get to. So
yeah.
really
That we all
appreciate it.
love and we love sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're good at it, so that's why.
Thank you.
Um, well, Dan, yeah, thank you so much, for having time to talk to us too, and just to walk through this. And really excited for everybody to get to see this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just so much fun. Thanks.
Great. It's been a pleasure. Thanks. Go watch.
All right, big thank you to Dan Beecham and Sharks Up Close as they're on Disney Plus, and thank you to everybody who's joining us here on Fox 12 now. Again, if depending on where you're watching us, no matter how you found us, thanks for doing that. Don't forget to download the Fox 12 Oregon app, though. That's a great way to get notifications, and you can watch a lot of our previous segments on there. So, and everything else that's going on here at Fox 12 Oregon. So a lot of things for you, including breaking news when that happens. That's a great way to be notified of that. We'll send out a notification for you and be like, hey, here's something you really need to know about right now. And sometimes it'll be me coming on and then just explaining what's happening. So anytime between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., especially that's for this show, that's when that will happen. But yeah, thanks for being here. We've got plenty more coming up this afternoon. We're going to take a break right now. So I will talk to you soon. And again, I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.